Yeah, we are laying up good stuff. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to another episode on the Symmetria server. This is episode number 29. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, few more weeks left on the season, and by a few, I mean like 6 or 7. But either way, that's a few because we have so much work to do still. And since last episode, I have finally finished all of the interiors of the buildings for the north side of the city, all except for one building, and that is because we have something special planned for this building right here, and I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to get to it a little later. Before I get into that, I just want to let everybody know that we have upgraded the server to 117, and there are some odd render distance things going on. Before, I was able to load in chunks and then have them stay loaded even if they were beyond the server's set render distance. I don't know what's going on now, but I have like a render distance of 10, and so you can't really see the palace or anything beyond it. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully we can fix that eventually. So I just want to take you on a quick tour of a few of the cool interiors that we've done. Some of these aren't completely done yet because I do need to do a few armor stands. Like this one needs a shopkeeper, maybe a couple customers here and there. But this is the weapon and armor shop and tool shop, I guess. So as you can see, there's all kinds of weapons for the patrons to purchase. There's some armor. We got a little storeroom over here where the shopkeeper can keep whatever else they need to keep, whatever, seasonal sales or whatnot. You know. We have diamond tools over here, weapons, and we have a bunch more over here. This is more where we have tools. We got some shears, we got bows, shovels, pickaxes. Yeah, this turned out to be pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of this one. This is the Agrabah Bank. So inside we have a bunch of teller windows, and behind there they've got all kinds of books and like ledgers. So anybody who comes in and wants to store their diamonds, essentially the place where all of the diamonds will be stored is in the Agrabah Vault, which is the absolute most secure place in the world. No argument to be had there. But yeah, anybody who wants to store their diamonds in the Vault of Agrabah can come here and put them down, and all of the tellers will keep track of who has what diamonds in the vault. We've got a couple fancy schmancy armor stands in here just as some decoration. We've got some places for people to keep their own bookkeeping, just some decorations, and we kind of went with like a yellow and white theme inside of here. We still have to do some armor stands. We're probably going to do that all across the city once the season starts to come to a close. But yeah, this is the bank. Really cool. So with this odd render distance, right here seems to be the cutoff point for the palace. It's starting to come in view now. But one last thing I wanted to show is we have this little fountain area. All of these buildings around this central fountain here all have been decked out with the interiors. And we have this cool little fountain in the middle. It turned out really cool. This all looks really sweet with some shaders. Maybe I'll show you guys once we get... I don't know what point we'll get to. Maybe once we get the entire city done, we'll do a quick shader tour. We're going to do a gigantic tour at the end of the season anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And on top of all that, I just wanted to point out as well that we have had a few of our fellow Symmetrians, I think this was Origami Tiger, have come through and have added a bit of extra detail here and there to the interiors. As you can see, she's come over and added some mini blocks and some extra little other kind of features. Like we got some amethyst crystals hanging on the wall over here. We got some extra flowers. We got some brick over here by the little fireplace furnace thing over here. But yeah, I mean, if anybody from the server is watching, as I've been mentioning all season, this is a community build. Boofty. This is a community build, so anybody who is interested can come on over, add some details here and there, build some buildings, whatever you guys want to do. This is free and up for grabs as long as it fits in the palette. Guys, feel free to come on over and give me a hand. There's been so much work that has gone into this already. It's really sweet. At least come over and take a look if you guys want. And I just have a quick community build update. Our nether hub is finally done. We are currently standing in the middle of it, and this turned out super dope. So we have each of the 4 tunnels. So all the tunnels that we finally finished earlier, a couple episodes ago, I think I did a quick time lapse showing you guys of a couple of the builds that I did for the tunnels. Most of them were built by the rest of the Symmetrians. We just were able to build a tiny little chunk. Once again, I can never really join community builds because a lot of the times they do it while I'm at work. But yeah, so we have the north tunnel over here. We have the west tunnel over there, the south tunnel, and the east tunnel. So the design behind this is it's kind of like we're standing on a big like ship wheel, and below there's like a kraken. You can see one of the tentacles are coming up. And then there's kind of like themed areas in the corners. We have like an oasis over there, and then there's like an icy place over there. There's some polar bears. You can see them hanging out. Over there it looks like a birch forest, and then like a little mushroom biome over there. Very, very creative, these Symmetrians. So the hub, there were surprisingly like 6 or 7 different, I think, designs that were submitted for vote, and this one was really, really cool. I mean, they were all super cool. They're always all super cool, but this one, there's just something about it. It's just super, super dope. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So the first project for this episode is going to be the expansion of the dock area. That is right, we are going to build the dock town. I don't really know what else to call it, but anyway, we're going to be building all kinds of buildings and all kinds of fancy schmancy details and stuff. There's going to be like an offloading area here because eventually there's going to be big old ships out here. That's going to be a project probably for a later episode, but we're going to be building all of the buildings and stuff out here and bring this area to life behind the palace. And I think we might actually have a doorway that leads into the palace so that all of the items that come off the ships and stuff can go directly into the palace, and then from there they can figure out where they need to be distributed. I think that's what we're going to do for now. We have a design pretty much ready to go. It's pretty much set in stone. Like I said, the door is something that I don't know if we're going to do yet. We got to see if that works out before we actually put it into place. We're going to mess around with that a little bit. But anyway, since we are on 117 now, there is a couple of things that I need from the new... what is wrong with my brain? A couple new 1.17 items that we need for this build. And I think the one most important that we're going to need is glow lichen. So I think we're actually going to build a small, compact, mini micro glow lichen farm in our micro farm area down by the vault. But we actually have to find some glow ink for that. So since we upgraded the server in the middle of the season to 117, that means that a lot of the new blocks aren't naturally generating because we're still on a 1.16 world. But we actually installed a bunch of data packs that allow us to craft all of the new blocks. And to craft glow lichen, we need glow ink, which means we need to find some glow squids and vines. So we're gonna set out on a quest right now to find some glow squids. We also need some glow ink to make those new awesome highlighty glowy signs. We have a couple of those in this build as well. So it's time to quest to find some glow squid. So we've just been slashing through the seabed for a few minutes. We found a couple caves, nothing so far. I haven't even found any fish. It looks like nothing's spawning, but fortunately our good friend Sturban says that he has some glow ink and some glow lichen. He's already made some farms. Yes, I have both. I have farms for them. So I think we're going to go pay him a quick visit and grab some of that, and then we can make our micro farm for the glow lichen. So Sturban has been concentrating all season on turning a gigantic chunk of land into a custom biome, and it just looks super sick. And now it actually looks like he's got a dragon flying above his main gate here. Let's take a look at that. This is super sick. That's of course got to be an impish fox dragon, but look, he's got all of this blackstone and lava. Like I said, custom biome. It looks super awesome. So let's go meet up with him real quick. And yep, he's already got his own farm going, super similar to what we're going to do. Let's just take the one that we need. Oh, and he's got a lava farm set up already. We're definitely gonna have to do this as well. Thank you, Sturban. Take a few diamonds. Alrighty, now that we got our glow lichen, it is now time to build an extremely complicated glow lichen farm. This is gonna take quite a while, so hold on to your seats. Whew, that was quite the grind. So after loading this up with bone meal, all we gotta do is place our glow lichen right there, push the button once, and then stand here with our shears, and glow lichen farm. So one thing I forgot we needed for this build is a bunch of the mossy variants of blocks, so like mossy cobble and mossy stone bricks and mossy stone. So to get this, I'm using the new moss block. Obviously you combine one moss block with any of the stone variants and you get the mossy variant of that block. I'm just doing this manually right now, as you can see, just bone milling the moss block that I was able to get. and we're just whacking it with my whacker. But I find this quite tedious, so I think we're actually going to throw together a quick micro farm down below to get us some more moss. So this moss farm is actually big enough so that it's going to take up 2 rooms, so I think we're going to combine these 2 together into one big room so we can fit the moss farm in there. But it looks like Solid was here. I don't know what he was doing. I think he might have been trying to crack the code. I don't know. But actually, this is pretty cool. Wow, look at that map art. That's super awesome. Sorry, Solid, we're gonna have to take this down though. But I will keep this Superman poster. Okay, so we first gotta dig out this area a little bit more. This is gonna take a minute. Alrighty, so the area's clear, and that is most of the redstone done for the build. So it looks like we're only gonna need to put in the floor and the stone generators and then the water and the collection system, and that's about it. We should be done pretty quick. I'll catch up with you guys in just a sec. So we got the farm up and running, and let me show you guys how this bad boy works. So it is actually passively running. We have stone generators over there, and they're pushing that stone over here, and in the very center we have a moss block. And that moss block gets bone mealed every now and then. Essentially, there's an observer under this block right here. You can see right now it's gonna get bone mealed. Yep, so once that block gets pushed, the entire system will get bone mealed. A lot of the stone surrounding the central moss will get converted into moss, and then everything will grow on top of the moss. And then, of course, the water will activate over here and flush it all into the collection system down here. So about half of the moss and everything else actually gets bone mealed, and then the other half of the moss gets collected. So eventually this will produce an excess of bone meal, which is pretty sweet. That'll end up in this chest right here. And then all of the other half of the moss that doesn't get bone mealed ends up in this chest right here. This thing's only been running for about 5 minutes, and it's already produced over 3 stacks of moss. Now this farm is completely self-sustaining. It is super, super awesome. So this farm is actually designed by another YouTuber by the name of Mr. Buzuki, I think is how you say it. It's a really, really awesome design. I'm gonna leave a link to his design down in the description. So we have some AFK to do to collect up some of this moss. So now that we got that farm going, I think it's about time we started on this area over here. And I needed the glow lichen because there is a new thing that I saw that you can do. You can actually place the glow lichen on the ground, which is pretty cool. You can't do that with vines, I don't think. And yeah, it helps blend in blocks a little better with things like the mossy cobblestone, mossy stone, and other types of mossy blocks. So as you can see here, I have, well, you guys will see once we actually finish the build, but there's like little walkways that we're going to be putting in around here, and we're going to be using mossy stone block variants. So as you can see, if we put glowstone right there, it kind of sticks out a little bit because it obviously doesn't have a texture anywhere near. I mean, the cobble texture kind of blends in a little bit, but if you put glow lichen on top of it, not only does that give off a little bit of extra light, but it also helps it blend in a little better. And this is what we're going to be using the glow lichen for in this build. It looks super, super good. Anyway, I think it's about time that we hop into a time lapse and get the dock area going. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's roll that music. I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. It was quite the grind to bring this area to life. Now, I know that time lapse wasn't usually what I do, but since we upgraded to 1.17.1, I can't get the replay mod working yet. I actually don't think they've released a compatible version. If any of you guys have been able to get it working, let me know, but I hope you enjoyed that different kind of time lapse. Either way, so we have a few different buildings down here. We have the little offloading area where all of the ships will unload their cargo. Eventually there's going to be some gigantic ships out here. That's for a future episode. So over here we have the unloading area. There's a bunch of cargo here waiting to be moved around. Kelp blocks serve really, really well to look like concealed packages, kind of, sort of. I think it worked out. We've got a little wagon over here, you know, loaded up, and then they can kind of wheel it over into the city. Still got to work out pathing and stuff like that, and whether or not we're going to be putting an entrance into the back of the palace over here, I don't know if we're going to be doing that yet. Still got to figure that part out. So the first building that I want to show you guys over here is the pub slash hotel. I don't really know what else to call it, or like the inn. It's probably the best way to put it is that it's an inn. So it's called the Sandy Lamp. So this interior turned out really cool. We've got the little bar area down here. We got some stools, some other little tables for patrons to sit at and have a good time. I think eventually we'll throw some armor stands around just to bring this area to life a little bit more. And then there are 2 floors of rooms. So we've got one over here. We've got some tiny rooms, you know, the cheaper ones that just kind of have a bed and a place to put your belongings. And then we've got the scenic rooms, which have windows. I think the other ones have windows as well. But this is kind of like, you know, the little bit of a fancier room that they have in the corners here. We got some, you know, some fancy corner decorations and everything like that. So then we have the top room, which is right up these stairs over here. And pretty much the same layout. We have like this room here, and then the tiny room as well, the little bit cheaper room. And then of course the bigger luxury room that has a little bit more to it, a place for you to hang up your hat and relax after your long journey on the sea. Next up, we have the boat shop and repair. I actually didn't get to do the highlight on here because I ran out of glow squid ink, or glow ink, whatever it's called. I don't know. We did it over there on the Sandy Lamp, and I just got to get my hands on a few more glow squid inks so that we can highlight these letters over here. But anyway, this is the interior. This turned out pretty cool. So we have well, eventually, like I said, we're going to do some armor stands, but we have our incumbent boat repairman and boat salesman. So he's got some little boats for sale. And then there might be a couple boats out on the dock that would also be the stock for this shop where they can sell some bigger boats and a few boat accessories, you know, like we got some masts, you know, like a mast patch kit. I don't know, you know. And then we have compass, of course. What sailor isn't complete without a compass, so that they know where they're going? We've got some ties, clocks, all kinds of stuff in here for the people of the dock to buy. You know, we got the sailors, of course, they need to restock, whatever. This is where they would come. And if there's any issues with their boats, of course, the boat repairman has an army of technicians that can help repair them. Now, right over here, we have it's just a little storage room. So if there's anything that can't be moved immediately, if it's got to be put into storage for a little while, this is where it would go. Isn't too much detail in the interior here. It's just a bunch of storage boxes, crates, you know, places to put storage temporarily. And then finally, we have the Fisherman's Wharf. So I found this design for these tiny little boats, which kind of look like fishing boats if you ask me, on Reddit. I'm actually going to leave a link in the description for this design. I think it is super, super cool. So we have a couple fishing boats docked over here. I think I was maybe going to put one out on the water that was in the process of fishing. Maybe we'll do that at some point. But we've got a couple docked here. We've got one in here that is currently being either repaired or built. But yeah, this is where the fishermen of the city would work. Agrabah, obviously being right on the water, has a gigantic fishing industry alongside with the gold mining. That's where they make the majority of their money. And right over here, we just got a little platform where all of the purchased fish can be stored temporarily for when, you know, and then on a rainy day, of course, they would be shipped off to whatever they would be shipped, either overseas or into the city for sale. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's episode. I'm so glad that we got the dock area going. But before we end, oh, you kind of just heard the surprise. But before we end, I have a little surprise here. One of my viewers, the amazing Drakenex, he has created a custom wolf skin for me. And I guess I just have to show you guys. It was so hard to contain my excitement. Look, it's Georgie. It's my puppy. He's in Minecraft. It's amazing. It took forever on stream to find a dog, but we finally got him back to the base, and we were able to install the custom resource pack, and now he looks exactly like my doggy. He's so adorable. He's a pets. I'm gonna go spend the next 3 hours petting my puppy. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to future episodes on the Symmetria server, the season is slowly coming to an end, so make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the end of the season. I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much for your support, and bye-bye.